Bonjour, mon petit chifna, and we're here, and it's August 1st. Technically, it's August 2nd because it's 2:30 in the morning, but that's beyond the point, and that means it is time to start another reading vlog. Awesome. So I just thought, since I am actually sort of presentable, and by sort of presentable, I have a shirt that's not a pajama shirt and lipstick on, and my hair is kind of cute, I would just take this time to do the intro before my mom kills me because she's trying to watch the Kardashians, but whatever. So finally, I'm going to say hopefully, this is the month that I finally get around to reading the sequels that I have been putting off for months. And I'm planning to read Smoke in the Sun by Renee Attia, which is the sequel to Flame in the Mist. I don't know why it's taking me so long to get around to this book, but I just keep reading other books instead. And also Legendary by Stephanie Garber, which is, you know, the sequel to Caraval, which last month, the month before last, I listened to on Audible to brush up so I can finally read the sequel. I also plan to read two books that have been in my Amazon cart for so long. Well, one was a pre-order, but anyway. And they are Allegedly by Tiffany Jackson. A friend of mine started this book, and she was shook by the book and just told me I had to read it, so I decided now was the time to read it. And the other just recently came out, and if you watched my, what's that video? Mid-year book freak out. It's like the book, I think it was the first one I mentioned for the second half of the year that I'm looking forward to reading. And it's Monday's Not Coming, also by Tiffany D. Jackson. So I'm super excited for both of these. And also, I just downloaded The Last Black Unicorn by Tiffany Haddish on Audible, and I'm so excited to listen to that book. She's hilarious, and obviously I have to listen to her narrate her book. There's no other option, right? I don't know which book I'm going to read first. I know that this camera's so crooked, I'm sorry. But I do know whichever one that I'm reading first, I'm also going to be reading Flame in the Mist by Renee Attia at the same time. Because I decided today that I need to brush up before I go into it. I thought I could just go into Smoke in the Sun without following up. I took this out, I dug it out because I wanted to skim through it, because when I read it the first time, I knew I wanted to make some Flame in the Mist inspired candles, but I never took notes for like scents or just like inspiration. So I wanted to like flip through it, and then like flipping through it, I was like, wait, I think I actually need to reread the book. So I will be multitasking this month. Pray for me so I can read this book. Here we go. Hi. It's I think today's the 3rd. Is it the 3rd of August? It is, and it's also 6:45 p.m. and I haven't read anything today. I am still in the first chapter of Legendary. But I did just take some really cute pictures of the book for my Bookstagram. That and Smoke in the Sun. I also just went over this sketch that I did for my bullet journal, my July setup and spread that I never put in the end. And I just did it in pencil, but I just went over it with my fine line pen. And I just think it looks really... I mean, I can't draw, but for someone who can't draw, that's kind of cute. If you don't know, my theme for this month was like the ocean, and it was also slightly inspired by, what is that book called? Oh my god. To Kill a Kingdom. So this is very much inspired by To Kill a Kingdom. That is supposed to be Elian and Lyra. Yeah, it's not bad. I'm not really good at drawing people, and I really can't draw hands, which is why there's only one hand in this whole drawing. There's just that one, and it's awful, but I kind of put all the fingers to a point like her claws. Anyway, that has nothing to do with anything. Yeah, I've also just transferred a bunch of my paintings to this brand new art portfolio that I have. So I have my peaches. I really like how this turned out. This is the first one I did when I decided I wanted to start doing art again. I have my Zaylee and Amari, which I want to get signed by Tomy because I want to frame this. I want to frame most of them actually, which is why I bought this, to keep them in here so I can frame them. I have my Ocean because the copy will be, or by the time you watch this, it already has been put into my bullet journal. So this is where this is going to live. I think I'm gonna keep this in here too, my postcard from Maggie that has been when she was still at school in Dublin, and has been decorated with my dude Matty Healy, because we are both 1975 trash. So I'm going to try to get some reading done. I think I'm personally going to blame the weather, because it's been raining for, it feels like, a year and a half, and it just puts me in a weird mood. I mean, I have coffee that I'm trying to counteract the perpetual exhaustion, but I don't know, I just not very motivated to read right now, but I'm gonna try. Maybe I'll try listening to Tiffany's book. I'll check in later. Haven't updated in a week. I barely read this week. It's 1:40 in the morning on August 7th, because I don't know how to update when it's before midnight. I'm on page 128 of Legendary, and I don't know, it's taking me a lot longer to get into it than it did Caraval for some reason. This isn't water. And I don't know why. I was going into, I was really super excited because I was like, okay, cool, we get the story from Tella's point of view, and reading Caraval, I found her a lot more interesting and exciting than Scarlet. I already forgot her sister's name. And so I was super excited to see like a story from her point of view, and I was excited because it seems like we're getting more of Dante's character, and like all in all, in theory, I should be like what is the word I'm trying to think of? I just really be flying through this book, but I'm not. I'm on the first night of Caraval, and I don't know. It seems like the magic is taking longer to build. I think the build-up's longer than Caraval was. It was like a little bit of build-up, and then they were thrown. Scarlet and Julian were thrown in the game. So maybe that's my problem. Maybe once the game actually starts, I'll get more into it. But like, I'm irritated because I feel so behind. Like I said, today's the 7th, so I was hoping to have already been done. I also haven't been reading any Flame in the Mist. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I need to switch it up a bit and start reading, focusing on Flame in the Mist so I can be ready for Smoke in the Sun. I'm going to stop talking. Love from an unflattering angle. Update. I am on page 200 of Caraval. I'm about almost exactly halfway through. And that's great considering the fact that I didn't read it all yesterday because I almost died. Not clickbait. Yesterday I ran up to the post office. I had to ship some candles, and it's 9,000 degrees outside, and I ended up on the floor of the post office, like having an asthma attack, like dripping sweat, trying not to throw up, which of course then triggered an anxiety attack. And anyway, so I came home and I was just like done. But I did finish listening to The Last Black Unicorn by Tiffany Haddish, and it was very interesting. So yeah, I think I'm finally picking up the pace with Legendary. I'm finally like getting into it. Like I said, the game has just started, and now I'm getting drawn more into the story. There's a lot happening, a lot of challenges that I feel I'm going to personally have to face, and I'm just trying to figure out how Dante gets caught up in all these love triangles. Anyway, also received this in the mail today. I don't know if you can see it, and I love it so much. I feel like I mentioned my friend Letitia, who I met at BookCon this year. She said this to me. She made it for me. What I'm actually going to do now is I've finally hit the 200 page mark with Legendary. So I think I'm going to try to read some of Flame in the Mist, actually. I know I might regret it because I'm finally like really getting into Legendary, but I also really need to read Flame in the Mist. So okay, this thing I keep forgetting. I've also been reading while listening to Melodrama by Lorde, and I seem to always forget how much I love that album. It's so good. It's like I don't forget, but like it's different knowing it's good and then just listening to it and just like, yeah, this is good. This is a vibe. I'm currently listening to Writer in the Dark. Ugh, I love Lorde. Hello. So I have my not quite iced coffee, my cozy robe, and my book. So I'm sat down and just ready to whatever this means. Anyway, so yeah, I am currently on page 242 of Legendary, and it's really picking up. I'm really getting into it. I'm glad I kept pushing through the story. I have a lot of questions. Part of me feels like the actual plot of this one is more, kind of captures you more and draws you in. I feel like there's more of a purpose this time around. It's hard to vlog reading this book and reviewing it because it's a sequel and I don't want to give away spoilers from the first book. But I guess I will say this camera's crooked. I want to understand why these Dragna sisters seem to be like the focus, I guess, or like driving points or targets of every caravel. So my goal is to read to about page 300, then take a break from this book, and then pick Flame in the Mist back up. I am 50 pages into this. It's taken me no time to jump back into it because I love the story. I already know what's going on, and it's still exciting. I also just realized this bookmark that I'm using for what is this one? Flame in the Mist. I don't know where I got this from, but she's like a little koi fish mermaid, and I think it just kind of really fits this book and the aesthetic. So yeah, that's my plan for the day. I don't know what I think because I read better when I'm like listening to music or listening to YouTube videos or something. Also, please disregard that my hair is a mess. I'm about to sort that out. I kind of want to listen to Badlands by Halsey. I haven't listened to that album in so long. Alright, so I meant to say that I am really, really enjoying seeing Legends players in like different roles. Like it's like they're entirely different characters. I know I said that I was really excited that the book was from Tella's point of view, and I still am really enjoying it. I just wish there was more Scarlet, just because I need more. I need more Scarlet and Julian. Sorry, this coffee is like battling the sleeping medicine I took last night, and my head is everywhere. What was I saying? Oh, I don't know. It's kind of hard, like, to be on get just snippets of what's going on with Scarlet and Julian when I'm just like, I need to understand. When I was reading Caravel, I said at the very end that I didn't know if I still liked him as much as I did during the book. So, like, this isn't helping. So I just had to like physically stop reading because all of my theories were clashing against each other in my head, and I just read the last sentence of page 282. Just now I'm not sure which one of my two theories is correct, but one of them is, you know, because either way I'm right, and I'm just you have no idea what I'm talking about because I'm trying really hard not to spoil anything, but if you read the book, you know what I'm talking about. And okay. A few days since my last update, but the robe is still going strong. First things first, I am currently 200 pages into Flame in the Mist. Finally found my rhythm with reading multiple books at one time. I am on page 342 of Legendary. I'm almost finished. And I have also started listening. Why is this always crooked? Started listening to My Lady Jane on Audible. And I'm enjoying it so far. So, I just got, like I said, I'm almost finished Legendary. I can probably finish it tonight. Probably not, because after Pitch Perfect 2's on. So after that goes off, I'm going to pour some candles. But we'll see. I'm trying to finish this tonight. I just got to this part where Tella is learning some things about her mom, and I had to put the book down and close it. I was just like, wow. Wow. Alright, Paloma. But yeah, that was disrespectful. So that's really all I wanted to say. Like I said, it's really hard to talk about this book, reading this book, because it's the sequel, so I can't really talk too much about anything without giving away anything that happened in the first one, and also without giving away really anything that's going on currently. But there's a lot that's happened, actually. Poor Tella is going through it. And I'm still waiting for what I think about Jax to come to fruition. And this whole Dante thing, I know it sounds like I'm just like saying random pieces of things, but that's really all I can say. So I should really start doing like spoilery reviews also. Like actually just talk about stuff. But yeah, we are almost 2 weeks into August, and perhaps by the end of tomorrow, no, by the end of the month, I will hopefully have read at least 4 books. Yeah, because I listened to Tiffany Haddish's book this month also. Alrighty, so the other night I finished Legendary finally, and that is not water, that is spilled on the cover. Fantastic. Anyway, I actually really enjoyed it. It seems like I've been trying to get through this book for ages. It took me 10 days to get through this book. Goodreads told me so. Anyway, first, if you don't know, this is the sequel. Well, you should know because you watched the vlog portion to get to this, but this is the sequel to Caraval. I can't really go too much into the synopsis of the book without giving away the synopsis of the first book. But in this book, first of all, this book is told through Donatella's point of view, Scarlet's little sister. And this story goes into Tella trying to find answers about her and Scarlet's mother, and basically the lengths that she'll go to get said answers. That's really all I can tell you. Okay, so like I said, it took 10 days to get through this book for some bizarre reason. I know if you've didn't skip and watch the actual vlog portion, one, you're great. It took me a while to get into this book. I'm not sure why, actually. I think because it was a slower build up, and like I've seen a lot of people comment that what they didn't seem to like about this book was that it lacked the same amount of magic that the first one seemed to have. But I personally liked that aspect. I felt that this book was a little darker than Caraval and a little grittier, and there was more depth to it, and so I appreciated it a lot. I forget my original point. What was I saying? Oh, so it took more time, I guess, building up to get to the game itself. This takes place the day after the last book ends, where the first book, basically you get like a day and then they're playing Caraval. This kind of builds up a little more until they actually start playing the game, until Tella is playing the game. I mean, a few things that sort of annoy me, I'll start with that, is the fact that because this is in Tella's point of view, it's like Scarlet and Julian don't exist except for like very few sparse snippets where they pop in, but they are not at all vital to the story. Another thing that kind of irritates me, it irritated me in the first, well actually in the first one I complained, also just realized that Caraval was my first read with me, the book that I did my first read with me vlog, 2, anyway, 4. In that book I sort of complained about the fact that Scarlet had this sort of like synesthesia where she described absolutely everything in color, but it was never really we never really dove into it. Oh my god, I graduated high school, guys, and I went to college, so like I don't know why, I don't know how, I don't have a grasp on grammar. Anyway, it was never properly like really explained. So in this one where what is her name, Donatella, the way she describes like everything, I guess in this case it's more like sense. Everything is drenched in darkness and shadow and magic and ink. It's obnoxious. But aside from that, I liked this one more than I liked the first one. I enjoyed the first one. It was a fun, easy read. I like appreciated the magical element to it. But I really liked that, one, there seemed to be more of an actual plot to this one, where we weren't like just going into circles. I like that Tella didn't, she is braver and I guess stronger and just able to take care of herself more than Scarlet was, to me at least. I like that we got more Dante. The whole aspect with the fates was really interesting, and I'm looking forward to more of that as we get into the third book. I don't know, I had a, once I got into the story, it was more entertaining for me. This one felt more, instead of like a magical fantasy whimsical game, this felt like more like a mystery, there's more action going on in this book. And yeah, I think I mentioned in my actual Goodreads review that I hope in the third book that we get like a dual point of view. The book is told in dual points of view, Scarlet's and Tella's, because I think that would make the most sense. We got the first book in Scarlet's point of view, second in Tella's, and in the third one I'd like to see them both tell the story. So like because I think also at this point in the story both of them are important, and I'm sure there'll be a lot going on, but I'm looking forward to, is it called finale? It'd be cool if I could speak. Also this cover is really pretty. So I think that covers about everything that I have to say. I am, like I've said about 27 times, looking forward to the next book. I do enjoy this series. I think it's fun. I think it's interesting. When you're into it, it's a quick read. I am planning, I'm just waiting for just one thing to come, and then I will be pouring some Caraval inspired candles. And all these tabs, except for these 2 green ones, are ideas for a legendary inspired candle. I'm torn between like a Dante candle or a Prince of Hearts candle, maybe both, who knows. Okay, so now as I was reading Legendary, I finished listening to The Last Black Unicorn. I'm currently listening to My Lady Jane. I've downloaded that on Audible. I'm not maybe in the 3rd chapter, but I was also reading Flaming Mist by Renee Attia. Rereading, I should say, because I am decided to reread it before starting Smoke in the Sun, and I am almost finished. I love Renee. I love her writing. So now that I'm finished Legendary, and I've kind of gotten it back into like the flow of reading multiple books at the same time, high school Amber is quaking. I'm going to start reading Allegedly by Tiffany D. Jackson. I've wanted to read this book for so long, and a friend of mine read it recently, and she raves about it and tells me that I have to read it because it's going to mess me up, so that's my vibe. And hopefully I will be able to get through both of these, and then I'll start Smoke in the Sun, and then that'll leave me with Monday's Not Coming, also by Tiffany Jackson. Great! Hiya, so quick update. I am still only 3 pages into Allegedly because I got really focused on Flame in the Mist, and I just wanted to finish it, which I have done. Last night I think I finished it, and I'm so glad that I went ahead and reread it because there were a lot of details that I had forgotten, and I still just love this story so much, so it's really great to get back into this world before going into Smoke in the Sun, which I plan on starting today. I'm so excited to finally be starting this book. I've been anticipating this book for so long, so I'm going to actually go and post my Smoke in the Sun picture that I took for my Bookstagram. If you're not following my Bookstagram, you should be. So yeah, I think I'm on like the 3rd or 4th chapter of My Lady Jane on Audible. So I'm going to pick up one of those things right now. Okay, so like I'm starting Smoke in the Sun for real this time, and I know I'm going into this ready to throw hands with Raiden and Kenshin. So I'm already just irritated, and my children are going to go through so much, aren't they? This isn't fair. Fine. I start this clip by saying that I am so over this summer, and I can't wait for it to be fall. I'm tired of sweating all the time, just being gross all the time. Anyway, that rant came because I literally just got in, and it's 4,000 degrees in Pennsylvania. So anyway, I am currently reading Allegedly. I'm still very early in the book. I'm on page 11. Took some cute pictures in the city of that, and what book was it? Alex and Eliza for Bookstagram. Oh, and like the struggle to actually get a good picture of Allegedly. I dropped it several times off of this little like tree thing. By the time you see this, it will be on my Bookstagram page, so like follow me. I'll put the links down there. It's always down there. I love you. And I dropped it like so dramatically that my only reaction was to throw my phone into the air to try to catch the book. Thank God I caught the phone instead of the book. But let's see, how far am I into Smoke in the Sun? Can you please? Can we, in the meantime, talk about the fact that it's August 16th, and I've yet to finish setting up my bullet journal for the month. I'm winning life. 31 pages into Smoke in the Sun, and I know when I started it, I was like, I want to fight Raiden and Kenshin, but while I still don't like Raiden, and I know that we're going to have issues through this book, Roku can literally square up. I'm saying it now, he's unhinged, and he's going to be a problem, and like, see me outside, sir. Also, slightly frustrating, but also, nope, just frustrating. I finally got the labels in for the Bowels inspired candle. So, the one that I always pour in small batches, so I'll pour like half a dozen and keep one because I love candles. And of course, mine is one of the only ones that turned out right, and the label didn't go on crookedly, which is stupid because I always label mine last. I'm just so frustrated. I don't know what to do. Out of the 5 that would go on sale, only 2 came out right, and I'm stressed. So, that's my number. If you need something. But the labels are pretty, so please call. It smells good. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But you can feel safe knowing that we'll be there with you. This isn't just insurance. Alright, so I have finally broken the first 100 pages of Allegedly, and I'm just so frustrated and mad. I'm really enjoying the story, but it just makes me upset that like there's a lot of truth to just like the situation that Mary is in, and the fact that there are kids in the system going through like the stuff that she goes through in this book, and I'm really only in the first 100 pages, but I'm already pretty captivated. I'm really already like needing to breathe, like to rush through this, not rush, but like dive into this to get answers, and like to see how it ends. But I'm putting it down right now because I want to get some more done with Smoke in the Sun. Maybe I'm still on page like 29 or something, 20, so I'm hoping to like maybe read possibly 100 pages before I go to bed. That might be a big maybe, but we'll see. I should probably also stop drinking sweet tea when it's almost midnight.